Happening now as a major roadwork project officially gets underway in Jamestown today, the message for drivers to help keep the men and women at work safe. And we're continuing to track gas prices around our region, a look at how much the price to fill up has increased. Plus, as part of our election 2022 coverage, we sit down with the candidate running for state senate, his plan to restore hope in Western New York.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our latest local news is coming up, but first, let's get a check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us live with that as we kick off a new week, Dakota, and it's pretty nice out there, all things considered.
Yes, it is. It's a nice Monday out there, but we had some snow to go through this weekend. These were the snow totals from over the weekend. Mayville at 8.3 inches, DeWittville 7.5, here in town 6.3, Fredonia 6 inches, Randolph 3.5. So again, this was that quick hitting snow that came through over the weekend, but at least I can say, for at least in terms of the snow, we're done with that for at least a little while longer. Today, it's dry out there. Satellite and radar composite not showing you much, and it's going to stay that way through the day today, so enjoy the quiet weather that we have on tap for today. The high yesterday was only 25. The low this morning was officially 24, but temperatures kind of rose a little bit by sunrise time. 43 is now the average high, with 75 and 1 below are the records for this day. So through the afternoon, partly to mostly sunny. We'll see more clouds filter in late, so we'll call the late afternoon mostly cloudy. 44 to 52 with a south wind. Now, if you like this, we've got more warm air on the way. We'll talk about where those temperatures are headed with that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show, Justin.
All right, I'll take it certainly, Dakota. Thank you very much. Well, as a major roadwork project in Jamestown is getting underway, officials with the city's Department of Public Works are reminding drivers to pay extra attention when on the roadways. Construction crews began preliminary work Friday on the Washington Street redesign project, with the full project kicking off today between Fluvanna Avenue and 2nd Street. The road's current 4-lane configuration will be modified into 3, with a 2-way left turn lane in the middle of the street. New crosswalks and pedestrian lights will also be installed. Furthermore, a new 5-foot bike lane with 2-foot buffer area on both sides of the street will be in place. Now, senior civil engineer Mark Schlemmer tells us whether it is a private contractor or local DPW crew, drivers need to slow down and pay attention when in work zones.
Sometimes, equipment or manpower can jump out unexpectedly. But then, we also look towards our guys to make sure that they're wearing the right safety gear and equipped in that way too to help protect themselves. Because it's the last thing any crew, private or public, wants is injuries.
In addition to private contractors working on the roadway, the Jamestown Board of Public Utilities is also doing a water line replacement project between 6th and 22nd Streets. In 1 week's time, the average price for a gallon of gasoline in Chautauqua County increased 23 cents. AAA reports the average price for a gallon of gas in our area today is $4.37. That up from $4.14 last Monday and $4.06 the week prior. Some local stations in Jamestown, according to GasBuddy.com, posted prices even higher than that, with the Quick Fill station on East Fairmount Avenue selling fuel for $4.39. New York State's average price is $4.49, that up 23 cents from last week. The national average price is now $4.32, that up 25 cents. Sticker shock at the pumps has many planning to make some changes. A new study from AAA finding that 80% of all drivers surveyed said they would drive less to save on fuel. A third of adult drivers under the age of 35 said they'd be open to carpooling, with 68% of drivers saying they'd rather save by combining errands, and 53% of older Americans reporting that they'd cut back on shopping or even dining out to save money on gas. Well, the Democratic candidate for New York's new 58th Senate District plans to address issues plaguing Western New York by restoring hope if elected to office. As our Julia Gress reports, though the redistricting process is still up in the air following last month's Senate vote to approve the new lines, the newly formed plans are still set to be used for the upcoming election, and campaigning now well underway.
Braden McElhaney is running as a Democrat in opposition to Republican incumbent George Borrello for the 58th District Senate, formerly the 57th seat. Chairman of the Westfield Community Engagement Collaborative and teacher, McElhaney hopes to reverse the trend of population decline with his unique perspective.
My goal is to use my passion, to use my experience, and use my message to help restore hope, to restore faith in this district, encouraging people to stay here, to live here, to raise a family here, to get their education here, to build a career here. That is our goal.
The candidate hopes to achieve common sense solutions, regardless of political party, to be the voice of the working class in Albany.
The biggest thing we want to put forward is a bill that I want to call Revitalize Our Home. And essentially it's going to find funding to incentivize businesses to hire homeless people, incentivize businesses to hire students who are in high school, encouraging the state to provide funding for schools to be able to afford to send their kids to trade schools.
Under his proposed bill, students would enter the workforce with experience in a trade or with college-level courses. McElhaney would also tackle the drug crisis in the area head-on, with areas run by police officers and volunteers for citizens to bring in drugs, no questions asked, to get them off the streets. The candidate also made his stance on bail reform clear.
I personally believe in the idea of bail reform. The idea is great. It helps those who frequent the system, helps those who may not be able to pay criminal expenses, offers some leniency. However, the current state of the bail reform bill has a lot of loopholes, and I think Albany needs to reform the bail reform.
He continued that having a Democrat on this side of the issue would improve the odds of the law being reformed. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. He also shared his thoughts on the legalization of recreational marijuana, the redistricting process, and why he believes someone his age is right for the job. Our full interview with McElhaney is posted at WNY News Now's YouTube page and channel 716 on Roku. A 45-year-old Olean man is accused of threatening to hurt another man with a kayak oar in Jamestown over the weekend. City police responded to a business in Brooklyn Square around 9:30 in the morning Sunday. Following an investigation, it's alleged that Kurt Stumple threatened a male victim with the oar after ransacking his vehicle. He also allegedly caused damage to that car. Stumple was taken into custody without incident and charged with felony criminal mischief, criminal tampering, and menacing. And officers with the Jamestown Police Department have shaved their heads to support one of their own currently undergoing chemotherapy. The department, in a post on social media, shared these images of Jamestown's finest taking in part of shaving their heads. Police say in the post, while walking this earth, everyone you meet or come into contact with is facing a battle you will likely never know about, understand, or experience. In the event that you do know about their battle, you may never exactly know what it's like for them. The thread goes on to say that there are many reasons for not having hair on your head, including chemotherapy, referring to one of their own who's currently in cancer treatment. In the end, they say no one should ever have to fight alone, and reiterated the importance of telling people how important they are to you, always. As WNY News Now continues this half hour, the latest push to help those struggling to catch up on their utility bills after falling behind during the pandemic, and later how gas prices are impacting farmers across the Empire State. Stay with us as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
At least 1.4 million households and other residential customers in New York are behind on their electric and natural gas bills, a number that soared during the pandemic, and consumer advocates are now calling on the state to pay off their ballooning debt with federal funding. In spring 2020, New York passed the nation's only utility shut-off moratorium protecting heating, power, water, cable, and other telephone customers. Well, that expired in December, and as a result, New Yorkers could see shutoffs in the coming months. Electricity and gas customers in New York owed nearly $1.8 billion as of January, according to the latest data by the state's Utility Commission. That's more than double their debt to utilities before the pandemic. Groups included the AARP and the Public Utility Law Project are now calling on Governor Kathy Hochul to dedicate over $1 billion in this year's budget for unpaid energy bills and $400 million for water bills. Advocates also want $200 million in tax credits to forgive water, telephone, and internet bills. Hochul's budget proposal includes $2 billion in COVID relief, but she says that lawmakers are deciding exactly where that money should go. Lawmakers do face a deadline to have that budget in by April 1st. And farmers across New York State are discussing the negative effects of rising fuel prices as the country is currently enduring. WENY's Alexandra Dern heard from farmers taking the blunt of the price hike.
Fuel prices is really squeezing us. It's going to be a stressful year. We'll see.
As President Biden imposes additional sanctions on Russia, Americans are really feeling it at the pump. We're seeing gas and diesel prices spike. Farmer Mark McCulloch says at least 1/3 of his budget will be spent on gas. He's seen a dramatic increase in his budget.
We do a lot of budgeting, right, and forecasting and things like that. So what we're looking at, we're anticipating about a 60% increase as far as in a crop, just crop expense, just on that side alone.
Dairy farmer Mark Watts says he won't stop farming because gas and diesel prices are rising. He explains he has at least 12 or so vehicles that have to keep running.
We'll at least have a dozen that take diesel fuel, and it is going to be so expensive to try to do any kind of cropping this year. As far as corn and hay, we'll have to figure out how we're going to do it.
Grape farmer Tina Hazlitt explains her farm hasn't been hit this hard financially since 2008. She says the cost for fuel had nearly doubled back then, and she's feeling it again.
That was a hard year. So I'm anticipating this summer to be similar to that and trying to plan ahead and see where can I cut back.
Watts says his family on the farm is planning for the worst and hoping for the best.
Everything's going to be affected, and we just have to live with it. If we get hurt this year, hopefully next year will be better. It's the gamble of farming.
Like Mark said, local farmers are preparing for that storm to hit hard at the height of cropping season. They're sitting tight as they watch fuel prices rise.
All right, Alexandra, thank you very much. While this past week's weather conditions were not ideal for traveling, they were, however, perfect for maple syrup production, and many farms across our region and folks trickled into Edinburgh to learn more about syrup making. This weekend marked the 19th annual Maple Fest at Hurry Hill Farm on Fry Road. All weekend long, the Sugar House, Walking Trail, and Maple Museum were open for visitors to enjoy and learn how to make their favorite sugary topping. The Taste and Tour event featured many sweet treats for people to enjoy as they learned about the exhibit.
You can taste each of our products, so sap, syrup, cream, crumb and a couple of other things on the plate.
Looks good. The Hurry Hill Maple Farm is located on Fry Road in Edinburgh. That museum open from noon to 4 every Sunday until Memorial Day. Well, Joe, the orangutan's condition is holding stable as veterinarians and animal care staff at the Erie Zoo monitor and now treat his symptoms. Last week, staff noticed Joe, a popular primate at the regional zoo, lacked energy and appetite for a few days, and he has not responded to traditional medicine and treatments. Since then, he has been eating small amounts and cooperating with them. They had to put the 36-year-old primate under anesthesia to run a couple tests and are performing regular evaluations to diagnose what might be wrong. 2 other orangutans in his exhibit remain healthy and comfortable behind the scenes with Joe. The Erie Zoo invites visitors to stop by the orangutan viewing area to make a get well soon card for him. Coming up, Brady is back. Look at what is probably the shortest retirement in the NFL. And a little bit later on, a springtime run sabotaged by winter weather. Our Bronson Rasmussen takes a look at this weekend event that kicked off in Jamestown. But first, here's a live look outside of our window right now. Not much snow in view. When we return, a full look at our weather forecast. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
That's right, folks. Just when you thought you got rid of him, he's back. And today is Pi Day. Happy Pi Day, by the way. 3.14 is, of course, the official calculation of pi. But, of course, pi actually has some history behind it. So the pi symbol was actually invented by William Jones in 1706. I was not doing the weather at that time, though. Pi doesn't actually have a termination value. It keeps going and going and going. It never terminates. And because of that, we cannot accurately find the circumference of a circle. It is unknown. So there's our little friend Pi. So have a Pi in honor of Pi Day. HD News Now Cam showing you, sunshine out there for this Pi Day. We're at 40 as of noon hour. It's nice out there with a south wind of 9 and the wind chill only 34 degrees. So it is a nice Monday afternoon. Get out and enjoy it. But the warm air, if you like it, we've got more of it on the way. The 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center favors much warmer air surging in throughout this week. In fact, here are the forecast temperatures over the next 5 days. Look at this. 49 tomorrow, 58 on Wednesday. For St. Patrick's Day, we're going for it. We're going for 62 here in the city. Then we're back down to 58 by Friday. But even this is above average, so it's going to feel nice as we go throughout the week. High pressure and control just north of us, and that is keeping us mainly dry, and that's going to be parked here for at least the next day or two. So future scan showing you just the clouds will start to come our way through later this afternoon. So the sunshine that we have now will start to be filtered by some clouds as we go throughout the later part of the afternoon. The overnight hours, we'll call it mostly cloudy to overcast. Then tomorrow, there will be a small chance for a small hitting shower, but I do think think much of the day tomorrow will be dry, and I do think we'll see some partial sunshine through the day tomorrow as well. Now, as we go into Wednesday, that's when the temperatures really start to warm up, as you saw there. So 33 to 38 today, tonight, mostly cloudy, quiet, not as chilly. So that is the good news. Now the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So there's that chance for that quick hitting shower tomorrow. 49, much milder on Wednesday, 58. Happy St. Patrick's Day for Thursday, 62, with a good supply of sunshine there. Friday, we're bringing a chance for a few more scattered showers. It looks like another system arrives for the weekend. We'll bring in a chance for maybe some widespread rain Saturday. Then we'll mix it with a few wet snow showers for Sunday, but all in all, staying seasonable, Justin.
All right, I'll take that 62, Dakota. Thank you very much. Well, look around the nation now, and 7-time Super Bowl winner Tom Brady says his retirement was short-lived, and it's off. Just weeks after announcing he was hanging up his helmet for good, Brady announced he's returning to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On his official Twitter Sunday, the 44-year-old said he had, quote, unfinished business, unquote. This will be Brady's 23rd season in the NFL. The surprise announcement eclipsed what would have been normally the biggest sports story of the day, college basketball's March Madness lineup. And authorities need your help to find a man they say is targeting the homeless in New York City and Washington, D.C. Police believe the suspect, seen here in these surveillance pictures, shot 5 homeless men in recent days, killing 2 of them. The shootings took place over a 9-day period, and most of the victims were sleeping when they were shot. The New York Police Department, Washington Metropolitan Police Department, and Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are working together on this investigation. Authorities are offering a reward of $55,000 for information that could lead to an arrest. And Russian forces are expanding their deadly invasion across Ukraine as chaos and panic amid Russian airstrikes, which hit a large military base Sunday just miles from the border with Poland, a member of NATO. The attack killing at least 35 and wounding more than 130. Cole Higgins has the latest.
A crater left in the ground and buildings on fire after a deadly Russian attack on a Ukrainian military base Sunday morning. The regional military says more than 30 missiles were fired from warplanes at the training ground located less than 15 miles from the Polish border.
This is very provocative to be this close to Poland, but Poland is a NATO ally, and we have sworn to protect Poland.
In Poland, a bipartisan group of U.S. senators meeting with U.S. troops and refugees from Ukraine, some using the trip to urge the Biden administration to reverse course and facilitate the transfer of Polish fighter jets to the Ukrainian military.
They want the ability to have better control over the skies in order to give them a fighting chance.
Our focus right now is on anti-air systems. We are looking at other methods of getting the Ukrainian defenders advanced capabilities to be able to blunt the Russian advance.
In eastern Ukraine, a bombardment damaging a temple at a historic monastery housing hundreds of refugees. Desperation also growing in Mariupol. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says getting aid into the besieged city is key.
Every possible diplomatic effort is being made to ensure that the convoy arrives. Let's see whether they'll listen to us in Moscow.
This as an American journalist has died in the war in Ukraine. Brent Renault was 50 years old. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Cole, thank you. According to the Russian government, the next round of diplomatic talks with Ukraine will be held virtually on Monday. And next, the St. Patrick's Day celebrations kicking off over the weekend. However, running had a big challenge afoot: wild winter weather. Our Bronson Rasmussen explains next.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
St. Patrick's Day celebrations kicked off over the weekend in downtown Jamestown, with runners braving blustery conditions while partaking in a holiday-themed dash. Our Bronson Rasmussen bundled up as the race got underway.
Nearly 100 people took part in the snowy 3-mile run as part of the Chautauqua Striders St. Patrick's Dash on Saturday. Director Jen Swanluce says nor the snow or cold dampened the spirits of the day.
I think it's a pretty fun challenge to run in snow, but others, I think they just are really wanting to be part of this series.
Taking part in the sprint was no easy task, according to participants like Brooke Langworthy.
I've done a lot of races. I'd say this is probably top 5 worst race conditions I've ran in with the cyclone bomb or whatever they're calling it right now. It was tough out there for sure. I feel like some of the roads by Veterans Park and Steele and Harding, they were hard, slushy, hard to get good footing.
There are risks that occur with running in frigid conditions, such as the ice and snow buildup.
Just keep moving. Just keep moving. At this age, I can still do it, so I'm thankful.
After returning, each runner thawed out with some Tim Hortons coffee and other goodies. Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. This is the first race of 11 in the 2022 Chautauqua Striders Running of the Year series. Certainly, boy, looks like they had a lot to face there, Dakota, over the last weekend. And I think that's the biggest thing that still blows my mind, even though I've lived in Western New York my whole life, is just how versatile the weather is, how dynamic the weather is. When you look at, we can go from literally a blizzard on Saturday to beautiful weather today, and 60s come Friday? It's crazy. It's
what
crazy.
Did she call it? A
bomb cyclone? I think that's what the
I don't know what
national
she
media-
said.
I think she called it that.
A bomb cyclone really is sort of a meteorological term, but it's way overused.
Yeah.
But what we had over the weekend was not that.
No.
So.
But I can understand why people maybe thought it was that.
It just keeps coming.
Yeah, it is what it is. Well,
it's like Cousin Eddie,
Yeah, right.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. That it is,
Hopefully,
Edward.
this will be the last of the snow. Maybe. I know I dropped this question on you and you don't have an answer, because why would you, right? The forecast is good for 7 days. So it's so tough. It's so tough. But let us know what you think about this and more in the comments down below. Are you done with winter? Are you not done with winter? Connect with us at WNY News Now on all forms of social media. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our free mobile app for iOS and Android. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. Have a wonderful day.